We have breaking news as it is official. The Minnesota Wild have signed Kirill Kaprizov to a record-setting contract extension. We're going to be breaking this down, going over every single detail, as well as what this means for the Minnesota Wild now that they have two major pieces of their future locked up here in this one offseason. We have to touch on this all, ladies and gentlemen. Before we do jump into this, though, I ask you one favor, and that's if you haven't hit the sub button already, and you've been keeping updated with all this Kirill Kaprizov contract news right here, be sure to hit the sub button. We have a lot of stuff coming. Now with this deal done, we have a main focus here coming on this deal, the outcome of this, but also heading into the season. Your guys' support's been absolutely incredible. I appreciate all of you guys watching these videos day in and day out, but let's get straight into it. Kevin Weeks tweeted this out moments ago. Per sources, the Wild have agreed to an NHL record-setting contract extension with their superstar, Kirill Kaprizov. It took a few moments for stuff to come out, stuff to get going, but the NHL world was absolutely on fire when this dropped from Kevin Weeks. A little bit after, followed up with this, Elliotte Friedman tweeted out Kaprizov an 8-year extension above $16 million AAV, the highest deal in NHL history. This came out 11 minutes ago with this tweet right here, and of course now coming out with this, we needed some more details going into this, but we knew this contract was going to be record-setting. We saw the decline from an 8-year, $16 million deal, which caused a stir among not just Wild fans, but across the NHL, as Kirill Kaprizov was really in this, kind of mindset right now where we didn't know what was going on. We had no information. The team didn't really know what Kirill Kaprizov wanted. So at that point, there was a lot of ongoing conversations between the Wild and, of course, the GM, Theophanis, the agent for Kirill Kaprizov, Theophanis. We saw at practice, they met a couple days ago and ultimately got stuff worked out. But Michael Russo tweeted this out, the official contract. The Minnesota Wild upped their offer and signed Kirill Kaprizov to a $136 million deal, which is $17 million AAV, the highest AAV and total dollars in NHL history. Now, reports are also coming out that this contract is incredibly high in bonuses, which is a very good thing for the Minnesota Wild on top of everything that is coming out of this because, of course, you lock up Kirill Kaprizov until he's 36. That's what you need. You have a superstar. You do not let him go. You could not let him go. And that's one thing that I've been reiterating here on the channel. Whatever Kirill Kaprizov wants, you really have to get him. Craig Leopold confirmed that he would be the highest paid player in the NHL. That caused a bit of contract negotiation between whether or not Kirill Kaprizov and would wait until Connor McDavid was signed or not, because we knew McDavid was going to get a high contract as well. And at the end of the day, might likely be higher than Kirill Kaprizov, but the smartest thing from the Wild, Bill Guerin, and of course, Craig Leopold, after saying that he was going to make him the highest paid player, was to get it done as soon as possible so that you wouldn't have to up your deal even higher than what we would get for Connor McDavid. And I think the big concern that we all really thought about was, will he be signed before the season? Because that's going to cause a lot of, not just stress, but a lot of conversation to be focused around Kirill Kaprizov. You're not going to let this team focus on their play. But now that is done. That is over with. We saw the situation the Bruins were in last year when they were here going into this deal with Jeremy Swayman. Of course, on he's under no contract, but got him signed, caused a very big stir throughout the season, didn't start off the right way. The Wild avoided every single bit of that. Now, we have to go back to the past as well, and of course, this has been really all sparked. I didn't really clock it. I was looking at this image saying what was going on, but the Wild tweeted this out before Kevin Weeks saying, a beautiful day in St. Paul and on 97th Street. So, this is something that, I totally went over my head. Shouldn't have, but I couldn't really clock it because, when you're looking at this stuff right now, you're trying to think everything with Kirill Kaprizov, everything would be about Kirill Kaprizov, and I didn't want to jump too far into it. The one time that I didn't, I should have. So, the Minnesota Wild kind of revealed this a little bit quicker than Kevin Weeks, but with all the information coming out, and we're still getting more information as the hours go by and the minutes go by. My phone is going crazy seeing all these stuff, but looking at everything that we're seeing right now, Kirill Kaprizov locked up on this team for 8 years, and with a projection of 8/14, this is really not a bad deal, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a bad deal whatsoever. You knew that you would have to pay Kirill Kaprizov more than this after what we saw last year. The injury, yes, was a concern, but he was on pace for a Hart Trophy win. Not nomination, a win. And going into this now and seeing how everything has really played out, the contract where you're still at 8 years, the biggest positive for the Minnesota Wild is that 8 years, having Kirill Kaprizov here for, what will likely be his career, and going up to $17 million. When you're looking at how contracts will evolve over these 8 years, a $17 million contract at that point will probably look like a $10 million one now. So when you're looking at kind of the NHL inflation of how everything will work with the contracts, prices going up over the years, but also the salary cap going to be rising significantly, this, at the end of the day, is the best option that the Minnesota Wild could have made. Now, going into this as well, we got, of course, Marco Rossi locked up earlier. That was the big one that we kind of started off with here in the summer. 3-year by $5 million, but now you get Kirill Kaprizov locked up on the final year of his deal at $9 million, going into a $17 million next year. You have your top line locked up for at least 3 more years. That is a big thing that the Wild were looking for. They wanted that punch on that first line. And with Kaprizov, Rossi, and Boldy now on that first line for years, this is going to be one of the most dangerous lines in the NHL. And of course, Kirill Kaprizov being the oldest here on this one still seems like they're all the same age because he did come in a little bit later. But going into this, Kirill Kaprizov, when healthy, and of course, even if he's not healthy, even if he's slightly injured, is still the best player in the NHL. And I'm completely willing to say that. And going on with this lineup, this is built around that top line. There is no doubt about it. You've got Vladimir Tarasenko on the second line with Liam Ogren for the time being. Could be Matt Zuccarello at the end of the day, but with Joel Eriksson Ek there, you're transforming this team into something that, for at least the next 6 to 7 years, will be a challenging team to play against, especially where you have Joel Eriksson Ek, Kirill Kaprizov, really being your oldest players that were going to be here for years to come. This is a very, very good sign of this, and, it really sets the Wild on a path for a Stanley Cup in the next, 5 to 10 years, and this is something that we've all been waiting for, and I think there's no other way to put it. But going in as well with this contract, now it's done. We have a very big focus on what's coming forward. And I think the biggest next deal that's going to be coming out of this is Filip Gustavsson. We've been reporting a little bit about that, and of course, this video is on Kirill Kaprizov, so we're not going to touch too much on the Filip Gustavsson side of things. But now that they have this contract done, the Kirill Kaprizov contract done, we knew that this team was going to be really having a big focus on their goaltending as well. And now having the time, having the resources, being able to be put into Filip Gustavsson, this deal needed to be done at this point and before the season. I think that everybody knew this, and it's something that I've said about here in the videos before. So after going over many, many, many videos about Kirill Kaprizov, the deal's done, ladies and gentlemen. The deal is done. We have a lot more information to come out with this, though. We're going to have some more updates later today on the more information we're getting from this contract, as well as tomorrow, the preseason, training camp. Everything's still ongoing, so we are not slowing down any bit. If anything, we're heating up the content. You won't want to miss it. We're going to have it all right here on the channel. But with Kirill Kaprizov signed, the Wild now have a major focus on some other things here in this year, going on to a big playoff return for this team. With Kirill Kaprizov having that money ready, he's going to be on fire. And I mean, looking at the stats that we see from this kid, he is phenomenal. The Hart Trophy winner in my book last year, if he were to stay healthy, plus going on his last few seasons, this is going to be something that we have been waiting for such a long time from the Minnesota Wild. Having their first real superstar locked up long-term, the time is now. And I think there's no other way of putting it. But that's all I got here on this one. Like I said, stick around for later today and tomorrow on the news that we have of this contract, the deals, everything going on. The more information, the deep dive into it, we're going to have it right here. That's all I got in this one. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. I'm signing out, though. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.